If I was wearing high-heeled boots, would I be sexy? If I was adorned with bright red lipstick and cat eyeliner, would I be sexy? If I was trying too hard to be sexy when I didn't know what it meant, would you call me sexy then? How do you define the word sexy? Do you define it with little girls in mini skirts and crop tops because that's what they call themselves when they look in the mirror, keeping up with the latest fashion trends, pushing double A's into 2 cups of plastic padding just to give the illusion of cleavage? 10, 13, 11, 12, ages we consider young. Then why do we put them in sexy nurse costumes for Halloween and parade them around like candy? How do you define the word sexy? Do you define it in small waists and big boobs, tight jeans and hungry faces? Do you think about how many tears left that perfect body just to shed off that extra pound because she wasn't good enough yet? She wasn't pretty enough. And she will never feel like she is good enough as long as you keep thinking she is sexy. How do you define the word sexy? Do you define it with rock-hard abs and strong arms? Do you know how many hours he spent at the gym sweating off his self-esteem so he could be giggled at by your group of friends? He's so hot, he's so sexy. Would you think so if he ate too much chocolate and lost his six-packs? Do you know who he is? You see his body, not him. How do you define the word sexy? Do you define it in fair skin, blonde hair, and blue eyes, the perfect model face, the perfect girl? And yes, she's beautiful, but she's no more beautiful than the girl with brown eyes and black hair. Her nose may be a bigger shape, her hair may not be as shiny, but she's just as pretty as the picture-perfect girl we long to be, but she will never believe it because you told her she wasn't sexy. How do you define the word sexy? Do you define it as tall, dark, and handsome, that George Clooney, Channing Tatum, Cary Grant charm? Is that what you pined for? I don't mean to burst your perfect little bubble, but nobody is perfect. Nobody will always remember or want to take your coat and open doors for you. Sometimes they won't know exactly what to say, so don't take the perfect Prince Charming persona and make it an expectation. How do you define the word sexy? Do you define it in plastic? Do our fake personas and plastered pretty faces turn you on? The way her face isn't actually hers anymore but Maybelline's? The way she walks so gracefully when her feet are bleeding from high heels? The way she's so photogenic after being altered in 3,000 different ways on various versions of Photoshop elements? Just so you can look at her and say she's sexy. And I want to buy those clothes that are too tight for her body, and you want to have that hair that is dyed, straightened, and sprayed flat, and want to have her face, which is no longer hers. How do you define sexy? Those pretty girls in Playboy magazine, the rock-hard abs of your personal trainer, the perfect hair, the perfect body, thin waist, clothes that are asking for it? Well, let me wake you up to one simple fact. These things don't exist. The perfect body is just a mask for insecurity. Even the most beautiful body you have ever seen will have flaws, and that person will be trying with everything they have to hide them because she doesn't feel pretty enough to let them show, and he doesn't think he's strong enough to let it go. They both think they're ugly. The perfect hair is made with gel and spray, bobby pins stuck into heads like glue, elastic bands holding the loose frizz away from the face, and a girl underneath hiding. Those muscles you're drooling over took away his life. He spends half his time at the gym, or maybe just hopped up on steroids so you can enjoy the way he looks. A thin waist is stemmed from hunger. That girl you see with a size 0 jeans hasn't eaten in 3 days, trying so hard to get that elusive thigh gap that she has been hating herself the whole time. The clothes that are asking for it are not asking for rape, they're asking for attention. Just because somebody feels like wearing a low-cut shirt doesn't mean they want to be looked at as meat. Clothing doesn't tell you she wants you, she does, and only she. How do I define the word sexy? I define sexy as a person who is proud of their body, no matter what size they happen to be. I define sexy as somebody who is old enough to know what sex is before dressing like they do. I define sexy as powerful, but not forceful. If you think I'm sexy, tell me I'm beautiful, make me laugh, be nice to me, treat me well. That's what I will find sexy in you. How do I define the word sexy? I define sexy as somebody who believes they're beautiful. The girl who can see her worth no matter how much makeup or what clothes. The boy who can see how much he's loved in spite of how he looks or dresses. The people who can learn to love themselves before moving on to love another. Skimpy clothes, skinny waist, big muscles, lots of makeup, Photoshop, young age, these things that we have shoved into the word sexy, thinking we know exactly what it should mean. These things are not sexy, they are just things. We should not strive to become them, because altogether all they make is one unhappy person with a lot of unhappy admirers trying to look like them so they can be happy. I choose to define sexy as happy, alive, funny, real, emotional, and loving. The definition of sexy is not important. It's what you choose to define it as that makes the difference.